A SCP game on Roblox caused the kid to have a heart attack. Yo, welcome back to the Slushie Blox channel. Basically, I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. These videos take a lot of time to make, so it will be very appreciated if you do that right now. Just stop what you're doing and do that right now. Did you do it? Because if you did, we can get on with the video. But if you didn't, we can stand here. I'm waiting. Okay, hopefully you have done it already, but if you haven't, please do so. I'm gonna get right into the topic. An SCP game has caused a kid to have a heart attack. And I bet you're wondering, how does that happen? How do you know that happened? What is going on? Is this a fake story? No, it's not a fake story. I'm gonna get into more detail about what an SCP is before I can continue the actual story. SCP organization and decoding about SCP organization. What is the SCP organization? SCP organization, Special Containment Procedures, or Secure, Contain, Protect. Special Containment Procedures, or standing for the three organization top: Secure, Contain, Protect. Competent Storage and Protect is an informational page about reports related to supernatural phenomenons. This site allows users around the world to submit reports and documents about entities known as SCPs, which are considered significant scientifically, anonymously, and purpose as a significant danger to health and the SCP Foundation, an organization that stands in the dark to fight, contain, store, and cover them, things humans cannot understand for the curious eye of the community, to humankind lives and peacefully and healthy lives. SCP Foundation, a place stored 299 strange and mysterious objects. To put it in simple terms, this is supernatural. It's the supernatural spirit or beings that live within us, or not only within us, that live around us, or with us, as I should say. It's basically something that humans cannot contain, or humans cannot, I should say, deal with on their own. Now, I bet you're wondering, how did this boy basically have a heart attack from that? If you go on an official website or look at some of the games of SCP, you can see that there's scary horror games, and there's some games that's out there that just in general scare you. SCPs was just made for people to come and have fun about their supernatural, or what they might have saw, or what they thought they have saw. Some people would be making up the stories, and some stories actually be real, but we never know or can tell which is which. SCP Foundation basically experiments with the supernatural beings, or interact with them, and come together and basically make out what they were supposed to be, or their powers. A boy was basically caught playing an SCP game, and in the scary moment, or the jump scare moment as I should say, he basically fainted and had a heart attack of it. Well, I guess the SCP was, or the SCP, he basically came out and explained he's alright. Don't get me wrong, he didn't die or anything. He just had a faint, and then while he was fainted, his parents say he had a heart attack. He went to the ER, he came back, he was banned from playing the game. But in the report he gave, the SCP that he basically interacted with was known to come out of the screen and attack him directly, which is kind of scary because in some games or SCP games, you can't pause the game because it's going to be like, hey, you can't pause it, or it's not allowing you to pause the game, and it actually puts in that scary type. But I feel like it's just something that it's different in its own category, and it wants like players or people to feel like it's real, but it's all a part of the coding system of your computer software of the game you have downloaded. I don't know much about SCPs because I don't really do with the scary stuff, but if you believe the boy's story of the SCP actually coming out of the screen and attacking him, then please let me know in the comment sections down below, because I'm going to end off the video right here with saying I don't really think that an SCP or anything came out and attacked him. I just think he got so scared he just fainted, and in his faint he probably had a seizure or something, and his parents was over exaggerating because it probably didn't last that long. But as I said, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.